Hello, it's the 30th of September and it's 10:15 in the morning. I'm here with my grandfather, my tide, Mr. Eric Old, and I'm Tony Jones. Right, Grandad, when was the first car registration plate in Great Britain?
At the end of 1903.
1903?
Yes.
Okay, and what number plate was that then? What was the first number plate in Great Britain? Mainland Great Britain then?
Well, I should imagine that A1 was the first one in Westminster.
Oh, A1 was the first one in Westminster?
Yeah, but there were some other places that started the registrations in 1903.
Oh, I see. And who owned the first number plates? Was it the Duke of Westminster?
Oh, possibly. I don't know who was the first one.
I see.
But, obviously, there were some rich people who had cars already on the road, unlicensed, who had to register them once the law became necessary.
Oh, so the license plate law was like retroactive. Then if they had a car before 1903, they had to put a number plate on afterwards.
Yes.
Oh, so it was retrospective then for older cars.
So there were some, of course, that have been running since 1890 or some 1996 or so, and they all had to have a number plate.
Oh, what sort of cars would those have been?
Pardon?
What sort of cars would they have been? Rolls Royces?
Well, French cars mostly.
What, Citroens? Renaults?
So is it French makes.
French makes.
Is it Peugeot?
Peugeot.
Yeah, I think
They're still going.
like that.
Oh.
No, but the registration was for cars and motorcycles only. It was not applied to heavy steam lorries or trolleybuses.
Oh, I see. It was probably because they go too slow.
They didn't need a registration till 1920.
Oh, trolleybuses needed registration though.
Only after 1920.
Oh, even though they've got to have a pole to work.
Well, they were on a fixed track.
Fixed track, yeah.
Fixed wires.
Fixed wires, yeah. The trams were on a fixed track. Okay. And you said that the O1, did you say that was Birmingham?
Oh yes, O was allocated to Birmingham. The single letters were put out to mostly the big counties. Like A for Westminster, which they backed first, of course.
Oh.
And then you had B for Lancashire.
And what was Berkshire?
Berkshire.
Yeah.
Oh, I think, of course, there were more than 26 counties, so some of them started with two letters.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. But is
the beginning with A something, and B something, or C, like that. But they did avoid sometimes letter J or V.
They avoided those?
Yes, they were tended to be used later.
Why did they avoid J and V?
Well, they avoided a J, I think, because it was so near I for Ireland.
Oh, I see. Okay. And what about a V?
Well, they sort of left that for some reason for a long time.
Maybe it's too much like the Roman numeral for 5.
Yes.
Yeah. Are you all right to continue, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah, you're not too tired. And because we were both tired last time, and I was stumbling, and because I'd just walked up Snowdon and half another mountain. The other thing I was going to ask was, do you know my grandmother, your wife, did her mother's sister have a car in Nance Peris, one of the first ones in the county?
Or Auntie Maggie had one, JC 5634, a little Austin.
And was that one of the first in Nance Peris or Llanberis or?
Oh, There weren't many, of course, at
No.
the time.
But,
She was a school teacher.
Yeah.
And
But
ran it.
it wasn't a common occurrence, was it? Not around
No,
here.
no.
No. The other thing I was going to ask was that the codes for around here, you got, so EY was Anglesey, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, and then CC was Carnarvonshire, County of Carnarvonshire.
Yes.
And JC was Carnarvonshire as well.
That was later on, after CC was finished.
Oh, I see. Oh, okay. After
CC finished about 1930, so to say.
Oh, did it? Oh, okay.
And then JC began.
JC began. Oh, I see. And also, then you had the FF was Merionethshire, wasn't it? But it was originally. You said it was originally BL.
Well, I think it was originally BF, but
BF.
it became FF.
Became FF. That's because people in Blaenfestiniog didn't like the BL, the BF.
Even though it was Blaenfestiniog.
Yeah, because in English it means a swear word.
Yeah. There were a few phonetical connections with the letters. Like NL for Northumberland.
Okay.
And there was VT for Stoke-on-Trent, the Five Towns.
Oh, the potteries.
Yeah, the potteries.
Yeah.
And WS for Edinburgh, that was meant right under the signet.
What's that mean?
That's the legal Scottish term.
Oh, what, for Edinburgh?
Yes, Edinburgh got WS.
Oh, I see.
Glasgow, of course, had GG.
GG. Oh, I prefer Glasgow to Edinburgh.
Well, GG was govern, and then absorbed by Glasgow, had a lot of the G letters.
Yeah, because govern's now on the cheap map, isn't it? On the Clockwork Orange map.
Yes.
The so after the EY was finished, it went to AEY. How many did Anglesey run out of numbers at EY, and that's why it went into AEY?
No, well, JC had to go through first.
Oh, I see. Okay.
And then they do AEY.
Yeah.
And AJC.
AJC. Yeah.
BEY.
Yeah.
BJC.
So when did EY as an independent letter stop?
When did the EY letter stop?
Yeah, as a standalone.
Well, it was somewhere around 1930. I've got a record upstairs.
Oh, I see. That's all I want to know. So
a lot of places ran out of their letters, and they had to start using ones further down the alphabet.
Oh, I remember when I was a boy, there was a lot of AEYs about.
Yes.
Yeah, mainly on agricultural equipment, I think.
Oh, well, yes.
Yeah, loads of AEY tractors.
Tractors, yes.
Yeah.
Well, of course, they perhaps lasted longer than some other things.
And you had a number plate, OJC 303, didn't you?
Yes.
Yeah, and I saw another OJC the other day, OJC 101 or something. I saw in Llanberis. So, but yeah, I had a number plate TSK, and I think that was off a traction engine. I think.
Oh well, that was a re-registered letter.
Oh, I see. One they didn't use originally, and they just flogged them off to make some capital.
They dropped them off and used them for for older vehicles.
Oh, I see. Yeah, but and you had a Ford Anglia, didn't you?
Oh yes, I Ford Anglia
and that's what the number plate was
from the beginning.
And what was it? Was it a Ford Anglia 102E? I can't remember because I was a child.
105E.
105E, and it had unique windows at the back, didn't it? So you didn't get condensation. Oh,
but I had a Ford Popular first. NYT 268, I think.
Is that what you? Oh, you had a Ford Popular?
Yes.
Oh,
at the very beginning.
Did you not like that?
Oh, I don't know. Perhaps it went rusty or something. I changed it for eventually got a Ford Fiesta. Ford
Fiesta. I remember your Mark 1 Ford Fiesta.
Well, yes, it lasted me. I went 200,000 miles on that. I think it was very good.
And I remember you put. I remember you, instead of scrapping the car, you put a new engine in, didn't you?
Yes.
Yeah, I quite liked it.
Oh, I used it for carrying things.
Yeah, my grandfather used to go and get jetsam off the beach, like wood
Yes.
and stuff from Hell's Mouth and Newbern, and tie it on the roof and take it to the barn to
It helped to build things.
Yeah, and because the wood was like in saline solution, salt water with the sea, it never used to rot, did it? It used to be self-preserved, but it would wreck your flue because the corrosiveness of the salt would wreck your flue. But you just had an open chimney anyway, though, didn't you? So it didn't really matter. But what was it? I was going to ask. So how many cows were registered in Anglesey? Do you know before the war?
You mean the total number?
Yeah.
At any one year?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know really, but it would be just a few thousand. It wouldn't be all that many.
Oh, I see.
Because as they get older, they get scrapped, and new ones go. They were running at about 400 or so a year.
What, in Anglesey?
Yeah, I think the new ones were running about 400 a year or something like that.
Oh, I see. Well, but I suppose up until the mid-70s or late 60s, you'd have to be or mid-60s, you'd have to be quite privileged to own a cow, wouldn't you? So,
yes.
or have a sacrifice.
Yes, well, I couldn't afford it until I was 43, 44, and that's because when the children started to reach age 16,
and what year was that?
For them.
What year was that? What year did you get a car?
I got the car in 1965.
I see. Yeah, so mum got a car would have been older. Yeah,
it was only £25 or something.
Yeah,
at that time. From a friend.
Yeah, it's gone.
And I passed the test in March 1966.
Yeah.
It's good.
I like the big. They're a bit impractical, but I like the big American cars, like like the Ford Lincoln, and that's got a retractable window in the back because it's so big.
As well.
Yeah. But the more modern ones I like are the Chrysler 300Cs, the large 6-litre ones.
No, I prefer the smaller ones or narrower ones because they're more manoeuvrable.
Oh yeah, no, I mean I like them. It doesn't mean that I necessarily would want to drive them because I mean some of the cars in Britain are far too big for the country roads. It's just stupid. So I mean, why do you need a Range Rover for a terrace house? Do you know what I mean? But what else was going to say and what was your hometown, Hartlepool? What was the code for Hartlepool?
The town was called West Hartlepool, where I was born.
Yeah.
It was a separate borough, county borough, from the original Hartlepool, which was next door to it. This until 1966, and the EF registration started in 1903, and it went on 300-400 a year, something like that, until 1950, before it went on to AEF.
AEF. Oh, I see. And the north. We all know the northeast of England is a bit different to the rest of England, isn't it? It's a bit has a bit of a unique independent streak.
Independent, yes, it's an independent town.
Yeah,
and we had it was very progressive in its way because we had steam tramways, and then electric tramway company, and then the corporation took it over, 1912. And then we were one of the first places to have electric trolleybuses, and the first one to have a lot of pneumatic tyres.
Pneumatic tyres? Well, I've got solid tyres on my bike because the roads are so bad here.
They were called balloon tyres.
Balloon tyres. But the trams in Blackpool are called balloon trams, aren't they?
The trams were...
The English electric trams in Blackpool are called balloon trams.
Yes.
Yeah, I think they're ugly, but
yes, well, they come out for special occasions now.
Yeah, that's understandable. I think with the railways, with Dr. Beechin and and destroying like tram networks and trolleybus networks, especially in urban places. It was probably one of the, you know, collectively probably the worst thing that ever happened to Britain. It's just,
Yes.
I mean, I think in Britain, I think the things that we can do best is destroy things.
Yes.
but to get, I mean, we're very good at inventing things, and then we're even better at you know, like not taking them further or just closing things down. But anyway, what I was going to say is you had an uncle in Blackheath as well, didn't you? Is it Blackheath in London?
Yes, I did have an uncle that lived in Blackheath at one time.
And who was he then?
Uncle Frank, my mother's brother.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
One of her brothers.
And his yeah, I see. Was his surname Owen? Was it?
Fisher.
Fisher. Sorry, Fisher. Yeah, because yeah, it's your mother's maiden name. Yeah.
Oh, yes. I used to have several aunts and uncles when I was a boy.
Oh, yeah.
Because my mother was part of she was the youngest one of a big family.
And I know we're drifting from number plates here, but just while we're recording, we might as well carry on. What I was going to ask was your dad's father, your grandfather. Was he Richard Old?
Yes.
And do you remember it? And when was he born?
1854, I think.
And do you?
He died in 1933.
Do you remember him?
Oh yes. We used to go and visit him in the colliery house in Horden every Saturday afternoon.
Oh, I see.
He was, after he retired from sea, he got an engineering job on the surface in Horden Colliery.
And he's the one who wouldn't go down. He wouldn't go down the mine, would he?
No. Seamen are frightened of the depths.
Well, let's hope he didn't go over the Mariana Trench. But what I was going to say was, so through me to you to your grandfather, we've got a memory stretching to 1854.
Yes.
You know, like
well,
I mean, I know one's dead.
That's when he was born.
But what I'm trying to say is, I was born in 1977, and I'm 45. We've nearly, between the three, one's deceased, and me and my grandfather are very much alive. What I'm trying to say is, collectively between the three of us, we and through memory of your grandfather, we can get back to someone in 1854, which is nearly 180 years ago.
Yes.
So yes, nearly 180.
And my other grandfather was born in 1851.
1851?
Yeah.
Where was he born? Where was that one born?
Well, in a village in East Yorkshire, near Beverley.
Is that South Cave?
South Cave, yes.
South Cave.
That way.
Yeah, which is quite a well-to-do area now, isn't it? So that's that area.
Oh, it's...
it wasn't then.
We always like to be somewhere near the coast.
Oh yeah, well, there's very strange folk in the hinterlands of Britain, you know. That's why Wales has got mountains, barriers. But no, seriously, I can't remember whether I'm correct in saying this, so forgive me. I seem to remember. Was it you who said that they remembered the public demonstration of television by John Logie Baird? Bad.
Well, it happened when I was younger. They had, I think, a demonstration in Crystal Palace.
Oh, I see.
Of it.
And do you remember that?
Oh, not really. My father he built a crystal set in 1922. With the cat's whisker.
Yeah.
And
I should say,
then we got an ordinary radio.
A wireless, yeah.
After that.
I remember that, I remember as a child, you gave me the Bakelite valve bases and the terminals and things that your dad had. Mm. So I remember my grandfather's dad. But yeah, and but okay. I lost the recording. I forgot to say I think was it on the old side? Was it the old side that had a monkey and a parrot?
Yes.
And so it was your grandfather who had the monkey and the parrot, was it?
Well, he used to go to Scandinavia mostly, but they apparently did bring one home once.
So they probably went to Africa, West Africa,
Yes,
and places. Yeah,
he was
timber.
chief engineer on ships, and there were 600 ships registered in the port in those days.
Yeah, I mean that's more than what you get in a major port now in Britain, isn't it?
Yes.
But that's because of containerisation.
After some years, the railway company put more of their energy into Hull.
Into Hull and what, and Goole?
That reduced the importance of the Hartlepool.
I see. And to get back to can I just clarify, because we drifted from what we were talking about, but it's only an informal discussion anyway. They had a parrot when you were younger, didn't they?
Yes, as I say, I used to, every Saturday afternoon, I used to get the bus up to Horden.
To say hello to the parrot.
There was a parrot there.
And prior to you were born, they had a monkey too, didn't they?
Apparently, yes.
Yeah. And this is a real monkey. It's not a toy monkey. and it was a pet, wasn't it?
Well, I suppose.
Do you think they brought it back on the ship with them?
Oh, probably.
Yeah.
The wives were sometimes allowed to go on the ship, for short voyages.
Oh, the wives were allowed on the ship too?
Sometimes they were allowed to.
Oh, I see. Oh, God. I'd be wanting to go to sea to get away. All right. And what I was going to say now about... so I think that concludes. I'm trying to think if there's anything about number, because someone's asked me to ask about number plates. That's why.
Oh yes,
yeah.
Well, it's it's a very detailed subject if you get further into it.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of special arrangements in the early days. Even the tradesmen, the garage tradesmen, had an allocation for hiring out.
Oh, I see. So
things like that.
Can I just with number plates and private number plates? I mean, some of them are just I don't know, a bit silly, but the one I always think with private number plates, when the number is first and the letters are last, I always think it looks a bit daft. It doesn't look right.
Yes. Well, the normal registrations of letter first and numbers afterwards was getting full.
Oh, so they reversed them.
And so there was a session when they reversed.
Oh, I see.
This was leading up to the time when they started to have a suffix.
Oh, it's on the end, yeah.
When would that be? About 1980, was it? Somewhere around there.
Is that when they got rid of the just the 6?
Well, they started. 1965. Sorry, 1965. They started with the suffix C. And it worked through until they got to the end of that, and then they would put the letter, so they made a prefix instead.
Oh, I see. I'm with you. Yeah. Kind of just before we close, there's other number plates which are like you sometimes see the cheapo number. You used to see them in the back of Exchange at Mart, cheap for about 50 quid, and they were numbers like OIL 4700 or something like that. And they're all the old numbers from the Republic of Ireland that got transferred to Britain.
With an I in, yes.
Yeah. So when Ireland got its independence, the British government kept the plates that were meant, that were assigned to the Republic.
Well, they just continued.
They just continued. Yeah, that's what I meant.
In fact, they started using Z.
Z. Yeah.
Yes.
That's Northern Ireland, though, isn't it?
Once a lot of the I numbers fill in places, they started using Zs for Ireland.
Z.
And that continued, of course, until the present day.
Oh.
For a very long time.
But that's for Northern Ireland, though, isn't it?
No, yes, they did last a long time.
Yeah, and the other thing I was going to ask was in Snowdonia and around here, we get a lot, especially in Northern Wales, you see a lot of Irish plates, and you see a lot of Dutch plates.
Well, the Holyhead, they imported from Holyhead, aren't they?
Yeah, no, I mean, a lot of them are visitors too, aren't they?
Yes, and
I mean,
visitors.
yeah, I mean, and a lot of German ones. The German ones have got the symbols of the state, the provinces, haven't they?
Yes,
And
yes, it's recognisable very often.
yeah,
The name of the
yeah,
province.
yeah.
It's quite an interesting subject.
Yeah, the ones before we go, the ones I like are I think the Dutch ones are very clear. They're just black and yellow.
Yes.
So, but I think they're black and yellow front and back, aren't they? So, but anyway, thank you, Granda, for interview. I hope I hope it hasn't tired you out too much. 'Cause it has me.
No, it's nice to have a chat with you.
Yeah.
Like we have done for about 40 years now.
Yeah, well, 45. Oh, I'm feeling my age. So, anyway, I'll go and make my grandfather a drink now. I'll speak to you later. All right, thank you. Bye.